Welcome to the official YouTube channel for the Colin Cowherd podcast. Go on, hit the subscribe button. There you go, right down there. If you want to be among the first to hear my weekly takes, NFL, college football, more, right there. Rams-Lions game. I felt it was going to be a very, very close game. I had the Rams winning by, I think, one. Really elevated quarterback play. First of all, Matt Stafford's insane. Puka Nacua for a rookie is insane. I mean, you are watching, Matt Stafford is making throws out there that maybe only Mahomes can do. This is a rebuilding year for Sean McVay and the Rams, and Stafford playing with guts, his hands all ripped up. What an athlete that guy is. It just, the difference in the game was pretty simple. The Lions had 3 long drives and got touchdowns out of them. And in the second half, it was the Rams having long drives and just getting field goals out of them. And that's the difference in the game. I thought Detroit, Rams, pretty poor tackling first half. And, the Lions physical up front, O-line, punishing running backs, hard to tackle, kind of pushed the Rams around. They made adjustments at half, which Sean McVay is prone to do. And they slowed Goff down. Goff was just too comfortable in the first half. And when Jared Goff is comfortable, he's just a really, really good quarterback. I've seen comfortable Jared Goff, outduel Patrick Mahomes on a Monday Night Football game. He throws a beautiful football. But if you pressure him, he's not the same quarterback. So he didn't face any pressure in the first half. Long 75-yard drive after 75-yard drive, and you're getting touchdowns. In the second half, they got some pressure on him. He was less effective, and Stafford put on a clinic. I mean, it was Tutu. It was Puka, Cooper Kupp. It didn't matter. Everything worked. It was beautiful to watch. I just thought you watched a really good football game. And if you go look at this weekend, here's what we saw this weekend. C.J. Stroud, elevated quarterback play. Stafford, Goff, elevated quarterback play. Mahomes, elevated quarterback play in terrible weather. That's the sport. Tua, disappointing. Flacco, too many picks. Stafford played like a winning quarterback, but, the Lions got the W at home. And, listen, the thing about all these games is the league is different in the postseason, right? It's more intense, and players will tell you that every time I talk to a player, it's much more intense in the playoffs. But it really does come down regular season and postseason. Do you trust your coach and do you trust your quarterback? And I thought the Lions-Rams, that is about as good a playoff game as you're going to get. 2 culture setters as head coaches, and Stafford and Goff are, especially when they have time, are really, really elite throwers of the football. I thought that was so much fun to watch, and I'm very happy. My wife's from Michigan, so I'm very happy for Detroit. I think the architect of this Lions renaissance is not Dan Campbell, though he's been effective, and it's not Jared Goff, although I like him. I think it's Brad Holmes, the executive upstairs they got from the Rams. I think they've had back-to-back-to-back great drafts. Remember Dan Campbell's first year and a half. Go back and look at the record. It wasn't very good. They have done just a remarkable job of fixing that offensive line via the draft, upgrading tight end, wide receiver, pass rushers. Detroit's got this convergence of excellent GM, really strong quarterback play, a culture-setting head coach, and you jam it all together. Listen, defensively, they can give up some big plays. They're not great on the back end. But we have a salary cap era, and you're paying Goff some real money, so you're not going to have a perfect roster. You're not going to have the Niners when you're paying Brock Purdy nothing. You can retain all your stars. Detroit's going to pay Jared Goff, and so when you're paying him, and his contract's up after next year, so it's going to get bigger if you retain him. So there's just going to be some limitations to a team when you pay your quarterback a lot. The Rams, they pay Stafford. That defense on the back end, it's okay, right? And so Kansas City, they pay Mahomes. The receiving core for the Chiefs, Rice, Travis Kelce, and a bunch of guys. So San Francisco is a really stacked roster in the NFC, but I think the Lions match up pretty well with it. I do. I think the offensive line for Detroit matches up pretty well with everybody. And we've talked about this before. Even Mahomes got humiliated in the Super Bowl when he didn't have his tackles. When the Lions are blocking for Jared Goff and they have really twitchy, hard running, elusive, tackle breaking running backs. If Laporta's healthy, Detroit's offense could be a Super Bowl winning offense. The defense I worry about a little bit, but I still don't think they have the greatest ownership in the league. But so much of success in professional sports, so much of it is upstairs. And, we just don't pay attention to general managers. We don't pay attention to scouting departments. But God, Detroit's done a good job via the draft. They've really done a good job. They're not paying a lot of their best players. They're not paying them anything yet. And they're like Pro Bowl level guys, and they're not paying them. So that's upstairs. And I'm excited. DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL, is bringing you, yes, an offer that'll help you win money in the NFL playoffs. New customers bet $5. That's it. $5. That's it. $5. Any game and get $200 instantly in bonus bets. Are you kidding me? I bet $5. That's it. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. It takes 90 seconds and put in Colin, Colin. Easy peasy. New customers, $5. That's all you have to bet. And get $200 instantly in bonus bets only on the DraftKings Sportsbook. The code is Colin, Colin. And the crown is yours. I think if you're the Rams, you have to pat yourself in the back. You're limping. Puka's banged up. Kyron Williams is banged up. I don't think Cooper Kupp's been healthy most of the year. Aaron Donald's getting triple teamed. They have to go get an edge rusher in free agency. Got a few holes to fill, but a really good job by the Rams to go on the road, a very formidable opponent, and took them to the very edge. And I think this feels like a special year for Detroit, and I couldn't be happier for him. Jared Goff was blamed for everything in Los Angeles, and people, and I think everybody in LA, because Stafford comes out, they win a Super Bowl. It's easy to dump on Jared. Jared's a really effective. He's Matt Ryan with a better arm. He throws a beautiful football. He's a good kid. He was a number one pick for a reason. And he's a little bit of an underdog now, which is hard to be as a number one pick. I guess Baker Mayfield's a little bit of an underdog as a former number one pick. Goff has sort of an underdog feel to him. So it's perfect, right? Like it's perfect for Detroit. Dan Campbell had a job, and we kind of roll our eyes at Dan Campbell, and Jared Goff. Rams got rid of him, and the Lions history. That's a really powerful force when everybody's got a little chip on their shoulder and doesn't quite feel they're as respected as they deserve to be. Hard to root against Detroit. Hard to root against them. There was a call late in the game, no pass interference. Puka grabbed his jersey. That could have been the difference in the game. You get a first down there, you kick a field goal. That I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it. That was a missed call. But you know what? The Rams had multiple opportunities, and they settled for field goals. They couldn't score in the red zone. So officials don't decide games. There are infractions called and not called that can affect momentum and opportunities, but the Rams had theirs in the second half, and they just could not get into the end zone. Lions did a good job. It was sort of a bend, didn't break defense in the second half. They got just a good enough pass rush on Matt Stafford to hurry him. And again, Matt put on a clinic. Jesus. I'm telling you, in a losing effort, I hope it's not lost how good Matt Stafford is. Some of those throws, some of that submarine stuff, it's crazy. That guy is freaking remarkably gifted.